Hey, I know it's been like 4 days since I uploaded. I've been streaming over on twitch.tv/verygeek a lot. So if you haven't seen me uploading, that's where I've been at, just streaming video games, Phasmophobia. So if you want to see me play games like Yakuza or whatever, or any scary games, I am over there on twitch.tv/verygeek. So yeah, bye. Sorry. Okay, everyone, so this is going to be a quick video. So about a month ago, 3 to 4 weeks ago, I asked the question, what would you think Zoro would do if he found out what happened at Whole Cake Island with Sanji and Luffy? And then most of you said he would do something / fight Sanji. And in that time period, I just couldn't fathom how people can think that. So to cut it short, the simple answer is Zoro would not do anything to Sanji. And I'm pretty much, I don't know if it's going to be a rant or whatever, but it's pretty much, I'm going to list off, or at least just talk in general as to why he wouldn't do anything. So hey, if you stuck around to see my points and my reasoning as to why I think Zoro is not going to do anything, thank you. So first off, the situation is very different from the prior situation that people probably thought a lot about, which is Usopp versus Luffy. Now, that whole situation is entirely different compared to Sanji's. Wanna know why? Because Usopp's situation was a personal struggle within himself, self-consciousness, weakness. Usopp felt that Luffy would basically disregard anyone that is weak to him and useless in his crew, and especially because Usopp lost the money, got beat by the Frankie family, couldn't do anything about it, can't even fix the Mary, all of that. Then you have the aspect of the monster trio. You got Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, or Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, whatever, however you want to organize them. They were obviously like the three main powerhouses of the crew. I guess you can include Chopper at that time, or even now with Rumble Ball and that Monster Point and stuff. But overall, Usopp has been having this self-conscious thing in the back of his head for a long time. And it kind of just built to the point, especially when they have to get rid of the Mary, which was a gift from, a loved one at home, from his hometown. So at that point, that was a tipping point for Usopp. So that was a much more personal struggle and a much more personal place that Usopp came from, and attacked Luffy and his ideals and what he thinks Luffy thinks or believes, than it was with Sanji. So with Sanji, the man was literally imprisoned on Whole Cake Island with his family. His family literally strapped bombs to his wrists. If he escaped, his hands would go kaplowy, gone. Same equipment the Celestial Dragons used. And I believe Big Mom had the key. They had Zeph and the entire Baratier as hostages. So anything Sanji did, it was GG's for Zeph and crew. So couldn't do anything about that because he had his hands, Zeph, and he is kind-hearted. He mentioned it to Luffy in one of the chapters when obviously he went back to Luffy at the spot that Luffy told that he was going to wait for him at. He told Luffy that no matter how awful his family is, he cannot, once he found out what was going to happen with Pudding and everything, he cannot let his family die no matter how much he hates them, bar Reiju. Obviously he likes and loves Reiju.
I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright.
And obviously the big, quote-unquote big factor of it all, they're facing an emperor. That's another factor on top of his family. So you have an emperor, the whole island is under her control, her generals who all have 800+ million bounties. At the time, I believe it was bigger than Luffy's, which is wild because he's a captain, those were his generals. But nonetheless, Zoro would obviously understand this main fact, is that Sanji didn't do it from a place of self-consciousness and weakness. He did it of a place of protection. And analyzing Zoro's character throughout the series, the only thing that you can obviously people again point to Usopp is that he understands that Usopp, what he did what he did, and he understands that Usopp did it from a personal bad place. He did that from a bad place, and that's why he needed Usopp to apologize. He did that from an emotional place, but he kind of meant it in a way, because obviously, again, he was basically attacking himself at the same time. But you understand that what Usopp did was bad. And you want to know why? Because he understood Robin. Sanji's situation is much more comparable to Robin's situation. Robin, like Sanji, made a deal with CP9 and Spandam saying, hey, let my crew leave Water 7. You can label me, I'll kill Iceberg, I'll shoot him, do whatever you need me to do. I'll do all the shady shit you need me to do, but leave my crew alone. Leave my quote-unquote family alone. You know what I mean? And guess what Zoro did when he found that out? He was like, all right, bet, let's go save her. Like, they were all relieved because Zoro cares about his crew. Zoro cares about his crew to the point where if his crew is in danger and being held hostage or doing stuff against their will because they have no other choice, he will go and help them. Obviously, the situation was different because they had Wano to take care of and then Zoro, they had to split up. But if it was just Sanji's or Luffy's crew, if it was just the Straw Hat Pirates, no Kinemon, no Wano, no Law, no, whatever, no Momonosuke, I will guarantee you the entire crew would have went to save Sanji, obviously. But obviously because they had to, organize stuff in Zou and they had to go to Wano and stuff and set up stuff there, they had to split off and had to pick specific people, So obviously, you gotta realize that Zoro isn't I don't get why some people think like Zoro's gonna be this cutthroat monster and be like, no Luffy, he disrespected you, he can't blah blah blah. Because that leads into my other point is that Luffy handled it as a captain. As a captain, he went with the specific members of his crew, he talked to Sanji, he knows how Sanji is, he knows how kind he is, he knows his personality, he's been sailing with him for years. He loves Sanji, he loves everyone in his crew. He knows Sanji. So it's even brought up to the fact that when after the quote-unquote fight, or more like the beatdown, he tells Sanji that no matter what Sanji does, the one who's hurting the most is him. So Luffy, as a captain and as a character, handled this maturely and the way Luffy does. So Zoro would not be able to contest what Luffy's decision was, because the difference between that and the Usopp decision was that, like, again, he disrespected his captain of his own free will. He said things that he basically did mean. You know what I mean? He did mean all those things, but at the same time, he was just, emotion was blinding him pretty much, and his overwhelming loathing and stuff just pretty much overrided his love for his crew that he still has. But regardless, he did what he did. You know what I mean? So he forced Luffy to go, oh hey, you can't let him back in the group. He has to apologize. He has to apologize. It's, again, something he did of his own free will. Oh, could he have done things differently? To me, absolutely not. Because they already had Zeff captured, or, hostage. They had Big Bomb on their ass, especially on Germa's ass. Germa's people are pretty strong too. You can argue, oh, Sanji might be stronger than some of them. Yeah, you could argue that, but Reiji wouldn't fight unless she's forced to. But you have Ichiji, Nichi, and Yonji, and also Judge. Like, they're four really strong people, especially with the raid suits and everything. They're arguably, some of them are strong. Ichiji and Nichi are probably stronger than Sanji. You know what I mean? So all of that being said, I'm not gonna make this video too long or harp on it too much. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. Like I said, much more comparable to Robin's situation than it is to Usopp's. And because Sanji had all these limitations on him, I don't think there was any other way for him to work around doing this, because had he tried to fight back with his crew immediately, they probably would have got Zeff killed, or someone would have been, there would have been a collateral damage, essentially. Big Mom would have been furious in other ways, even though she basically got mad at the end of the thing anyway, because, he ended up getting help from this crew. But there was some dealings and stuff like that. There were everything, obviously, it worked the way Oda intended to. Whole Cake Island is a fantastic arc, probably my favorite arc of the series, honestly. Either that or Enies Lobby and Water 7 are top 2 for me. But yeah, overall, Zoro wouldn't do anything. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe for me, share the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.